What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Gaming with the Bros Cast, episode 237. My name is Harrison, and I am joined by my brother Nick. As always, Nick, how are you doing this week?
What's up? What's up? I'm good. Love the intro. Love hearing
Yeah.
it.
Just normally like on the back end, like I'll have like the music playing, but I'm gonna try doing it this way. 'Cause I feel like it makes more sense to have the intro, when we're going live. So we'll see how it works. But yeah, we took last week off. I wasn't feeling too well. I didn't feel well when I woke up. I had like a little twang in my throat, and I just felt like really extra tired from the weekend. But I feel nice this week. Feeling good. So excited to get back to it. Not a lot of news to talk about. So we're going to talk about the Switch 2. We're talk about that a little bit. I know a lot of people are sick and tired of it, but we're talk about it a little bit.
There's some heavy rumors for this week. So
yeah, heavy rumors.
So
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But before we do that, and before we talk about what we've been playing, Nick, how was your week this week?
It's good. Yeah, great week. Our mom and grandma came and stayed with my wife and I this weekend. Stayed with us Saturday night for a graduation. So we went out to breakfast with them and then got dinner with them later that night, and then just kind of hung out. And then Sunday hung around, played some games, went over to a neighborhood event, like Halloween event, for 10 minutes and got a hot dog and then left. So it was pretty great. We went too late. They were like closing up shop, but there was still the hot dog cart there. So we're like, man, gotta get that dog, And, it was good. It's a good weekend.
Cool. Well, I'm
trying
to.
You?
It was good. I'm trying to. I think the audio is not working on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Sorry.
Hello. Testing. Technical difficulties. Oh, I hear it on TikTok.
You can hear it now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then we're good. Okay. All right. Sweet.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Yeah. My week was pretty good. It was a busy weekend. We took the kids to like our local. We were gonna do it last week, but we ended up missing out on the time slot that we wanted. But it was like it's called like Spooky Woods. It's like a walk through kind of Halloween thing. Really, really, really cool this year. They had they had like a Jason themed one, Freddy themed. They had, pretty much like all the horror icons were there. Even like Art the Clown from the Terrifier movie was there.
Oh my god! Wow.
It was just like, he didn't have like a room or anything like that, because like a lot of this was like themed rooms you go into. Like they had like the Bates Motel and stuff like that. And then they had like Art the Clown just kind of like chilling in the corner. But yeah, it was really good. My 7-year-old son loves that type of stuff. And he did really well. Just kind of held his hand, and he wears like he's not good with like very loud noises, so he wears like little earmuffs. And he was just tearing through it. He had such a good time. And then on Saturday we took them to their school, had a trunk or treat and like a little carnival festival thing. And then then we went back to the house, and a couple hours later we went out to this our downtown area, and they had another trunk or treat. So a lot of trunk or treats this weekend, lots of candy.
Yeah.
But
busy weekend.
It was good. Yeah, super busy weekend.
So Harrison, did you dress up this weekend? Are you dressed up for Halloween?
No, I didn't dress up. I might do it next year. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it was a good weekend, and then Sunday just watched some football. Planned on playing Silent Hill, but I actually just played a ton of Call of Duty.
Dude,
that's been fun.
Same here. I did play. I played a good amount of Silent Hill this weekend, but while I was playing, I was like, man, I kind of want to run some multiplayer in Call of Duty. It's bringing me back to 2008, 2009 when Modern Warfare 2 was out. Like it's something, dude. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Do you want to just jump? You want to jump into Call of Duty?
I do. But before we do, okay. I know we didn't have the podcast last week, but we've both finished Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
I have not. I have not finished it.
Oh, you've not finished it.
I have not played it. I probably haven't played it in a couple weeks, to be honest.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
No, I would now, and I was thinking that because like I was just like, man, I don't have an itch to play it.
Yeah.
But I liked it. Like it's definitely not my favorite Zelda. Like I definitely don't have like a Zelda bias. I think with this one, I will get it finished in the next week or so. I think, but I've just been kind of taken over with Silent Hill. Plus, I just come off like a little bit of like a downtime with gaming. Like I wasn't super like there was like a week straight where I didn't really play anything. Like I played maybe a couple like Fortnite with my son, and that was kind of it. So kind of coming off on that still. And then I just happened to pick up Silent Hill and was like, all right, I'm kind of back in. But so I'm on the last the Farron Woods area. That's where I've got to get to. I haven't unlocked that map portion yet, so I've got to get to that. So I don't know after that dungeon. I don't know what else there is. I'm assuming there's one more thing, so we'll see.
Okay, so you got a ways to go.
Okay, so I'm pretty okay.
I mean, not like a few more hours.
Few more hours. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, sorry, my bad. I thought you had finished it.
Well, I think you had texted me. I don't know if I replied to that text message or not. That specific one about Zelda, because you said you had finished it. But yeah.
And I think I said something else. So
okay. But I mean, if you've got something to say about it, go ahead.
This is like an 8 out of 10 game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not. Yeah, I kind of agree with what you're saying. It's not my favorite Zelda. I hope they don't go this route again.
Yeah.
They don't go with the Echoes system again, and it's not the fact that you're playing a Zelda or anything like that. It's just that like that system and how cumbersome it is with how many echoes that you're scrolling through, and you don't end up using all of them, and some of them are kind of like copies of each other with slight differences. For me personally, it kind of fell flat because there was so much freedom in what you could do. And it really did make me miss the older 2D Zeldas where, a puzzle is so intricately crafted. It's so intentional. Whereas in this game, and kind of with Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, but less so for them, more so for this one because it's 2D. The puzzles are just a little bit too open-ended, and sometimes I feel like I'm kind of like cheating the puzzle and not getting that satisfaction from it that you would get from solving like not a straightforward puzzle, but a puzzle with limited solutions.
Yeah.
And
I really like I love the 2D top-down Zeldas.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to continue on with, whatever. I mean, I don't know if the next 3D Zelda is going to be like a trilogy kind of thing, or they're going to do like completely new characters. But it sounds like it's obviously going to be open world. It's probably going to be full, all that exploration, all that fun stuff, probably experimental types of stuff like they did with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know if I need that in the 2D Zelda. I think I just want a traditional dungeon-based, item-based kind of thing. Like if they're gonna go one way with the 3D, I kind of want them to go the opposite way with 2D. The 2D. I don't need a Tears of the Kingdom 2D version. You know what I mean? Like
right.
So
yeah, and
not saying the game's not bad. Like I do really enjoy the game, but it's very open and like you can kind of encourages you to break it, but like you said, like I kind of want just a couple of solutions to solve a puzzle. I don't need 50 different solutions. And then also like the menu system is just bad. It's just not good.
Yeah, it was bad in Breath of the Wild and Tears, and it's bad here. I really just want like those key items again. Like I want the hook shot and the boomerang. I would like them to find a way to revitalize that and make it feel fresh.
Yeah.
That being said, the ecosystem just didn't necessarily hit for me. I think it's a really good game. I mean, I think if you really like this system, it's going to click and it's going to make the game for you. But for me, it just didn't click as much as I wanted it to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But all right, you want to get into Black Ops 6?
Let's do it, man. I think once we saw, I think going into this year, I just didn't care about Call of Duty at all. And
Yeah.
then once we saw the partner direct, and then we saw like the Call of Duty direct that was after that, and we saw like a look at the Omni movement and stuff. I was like, okay, this looks really really cool. So I was
Yeah.
a lot more high on the game than I was, and then coming into it, obviously it's on Game Pass, so like I'm definitely gonna try it. Um, I mean, let's talk about the multiplayer first, man. You know, I haven't played Call of Duty much in the past 10 years. Like I played, I think Black Ops maybe 2 was like the last campaign that I played. And I did play Black Ops 4, but that was the weird one. That one didn't have campaign. It
Mhm.
still had like your traditional multiplayer. And then it obviously had like the blackout mode, which is their first attempt at like Warzone.
Yeah, which
It was Warzone before Warzone.
I like that
And I
mode.
really like that. I really like just and that's what more of what I like is the traditional 4v4, 5v5, 6v6 arena shooter kind of thing, a la Halo. But I've never been a big battle royale guy,
Mhm.
especially Warzone. I never really cared for Warzone. Um, that being said, I am just having an absolute blast with this. It's so fast, it's
Yeah.
so damn sweaty, but it's good. I like it a
What
lot.
if? Yeah, I feel like it's very attainable though, because there's something about that omnidirectional movement
Yeah,
is so satisfying just to move around. And I mean, that just wasn't the case before with previous Call of Duties, with
yeah,
with like the jumping onto your stomach and like the sliding feels extra cool in this
super cool.
version of Black Ops because of the omnidirectional movement. So like seeing that in that um like showcase in June, I didn't realize how much of an impact it made until I played the beta. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's an actual game changer. Like it really does elevate the experience so much where even though the game is super sweaty, you feel like you can kind of get in on that sweaty action because your movements feel
yeah,
very like
very good.
very high class, you know what I mean? Like very high level, even though it's just anyone can do it.
Yeah,
So I like the progression system. It feels very classic Call of
yeah,
Duty. You're leveling up. Obviously, you're going through your own progression and you're unlocking weapons, and then you're leveling up your weapons. Get camos for getting headshots.
yep.
I
Very
mean,
very classic,
yeah, you get. I
classic
think
Call of
they'll
Duty.
get like Red Tiger, and you can get all those gold camos and all those crazy ones. So it's a really cool game, and I've dipped into the campaign for probably an hour. Played two
Yeah, I'm
missions.
about. So I think I played one, two, three missions. So you played the second mission where you have to like sneak into that
Yeah,
base or whatever and then
that
take the
that one
shot.
was cool. Yeah,
That was really cool. So the one right after, and I think that's the one I did. That's the one, and they showed it in the trailer where you're like crashing a um it's like the Bill Clinton's there, and like you have to get a retinal scan of one of the senators there to be able to do something later on in the level. And that was really cool. Like you go in, like you're got your disguise on or whatever. You walk
Mhm.
in like you're kind of a reporter, and it kind of opens up. Like you have different options, different paths to take in order to get close to the senator because you can't just obviously walk up. You have to
Right.
have a reason to. So you have there's one it tells you that the wife is upset at the bar. You have to go meet up with her and figure out what's going on. And then there's a second path, and I can't quite remember which one that one is, but I went with the one with the wife. So it's cool. Like it's very different for. And again, I haven't played Call of Duty in so long, because I don't know if some of this stuff has been in previous ones, but it's cool to see like it Call of Duty at kind of a slower pace, giving you options and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm liking this thing. And then you got like the hub area, the house, um, and apparently there's like safes and stuff that you can, um, like there's secrets to the house that you can unlock
Right.
and get cash, so you can unlock like different perks and stuff. It's really neat. I'm really liking it.
Yeah, it's super cool so far. I heard there's a semi-open world level later on that you
Yeah,
can like choose to like do other stuff and it'll net you cash that you can use on the house to like upgrade the base
Yep.
and everything. That sounds like,
It's
I
pretty
don't know.
cool.
It sounds pretty awesome. I know the prior campaign, Modern Warfare 3, that one wasn't that one like all open world, but it was poorly done. I didn't play it, so I can't speak to it that much. But I heard it kind of
Yeah,
whipped
I'm not
that
I'm not sure. I
open
heard that
world.
one was like one of the weakest ones in a while,
Yeah,
and
and
it was
super short
pretty
too.
short too, like 3 hours or something.
Right.
So like 3 to 4 hours. So, but yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I told you this story, but I'll do it for the sake of the podcast. And I preface this by saying I'm going to laugh, and it's a horrible thing to laugh at, but it was just so out of the blue. So first of all, I had a very wholesome moment. There was this kid probably, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old,
Mhm.
just kind of talking into the mic. I was just full on expecting someone to be like, "Shut up, kid," whatever. But he's like, "I can't wait to Prestige. This game is awesome." And then one of the guys was like, "Yeah, it's like you're gonna do it, man. Like you got this." And it was so wholesome. It was such a great moment. And then like two matches later, I was playing on this team and we were winning. And then all of a sudden, this guy dies. I assume he dies, and he says, "Man," he's like, "I almost said a what was it? I almost said
A slur.
a slur, a racial slur." And then his buddy was like, "I'll say it for you." And then he said the slur, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, we're Call of Duty's back, I guess, in the worst way possible, but here we are. So yeah, definitely reminiscent of the old Modern Warfare 2 lobbies
Oh yeah.
of how bad it used to be. So
Yeah, very terrible.
again,
But
yeah, again, I know it was horrible. I know, and I did laugh because it was kind of like a shock laugh. I was just like, what? Like, what am I
like this still exists. Like
this is why I always turn off voice chat in the game.
I think that was the first thing I did when I got in. I was like, all right, let me turn off voice chat
Yeah.
for everybody. And
Well, then you have stuff like where people can like come up behind you and like take your body. And I saw one TikTok
what's
earlier.
in
It was
your ear?
like it was a team, and they picked up each teammate picked up a body, and then they made them like run into each other, and they're like, "Oh, you're kissing each other, you're kissing each other," like just stuff, just really funny stuff like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, I've been enjoying multiplayer. It's been a lot of fun. Even like the matches we played, like the that gunsmith mode, is that what it's called?
Gunfight?
Gunfight.
Yeah,
I don't know if
2v2.
that's a new mode in this game, but it's like the 2v2. You start out with different loadouts every 2 games or so. So that was really cool. Yeah.
And that one's round based, first to 6.
Yeah.
Have 1 life. So that one's one of like the sweatier modes.
Very,
but,
very.
But we had but you and I had fun playing that one. That was a good time.
It was a blast. That was the game I found out you can hold down the right stick to pull out the knife, because I didn't know you could do that before.
Yeah. Okay, so you have crouch on B then, right?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Okay, I have it set up tactical, where crouch is on the when you click in the right stick, and then B is knife. So I never knife anyone because I can't get to the.
You die so fast in this game.
Yeah,
it's so fast. But yeah, I've just been kind of experimenting with the different guns. I want to unlock the baseball bat so I can run around with that and attack people. That'd be a lot of fun. I don't remember quite how to get the baseball bat, but yeah, it's one of those games where like I can see me playing just for like a year. I mean, maybe longer. Just depends on how they keep up with it. But so as soon as they start putting in some really awesome like skins you can purchase, like in Fortnite, like I'm all in, baby.
Oh yeah, he's in. Once they get that Dragon Ball C skin in,
they got all the skins and stuff in like Michael Myers and stuff in Warzone, but they don't have that stuff in Black Ops 6. They got like the $30 Vault Edition you can buy right now. That's got like the zombies and stuff like that, but they don't have. I don't think you can buy. Which I mean, you can buy Call of Duty points, but I don't think you can use that on anything yet. I'm not quite sure. I haven't really dabbled too much in the store, but yeah. I'm liking this a lot.
They're adding Nuketown on Friday.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't. I thought that might have already been the game. I thought it was on a kind of different playlist or something.
Now they're putting it in Black Ops 6. I think they're doing some other sort of like Halloween event starting tomorrow. I don't know if it's a zombies related event or if it's a multiplayer mode, but I'll check it out either way. I mean, seems like this was a good year for Xbox to have their first Call of Duty game.
Oh yeah,
I'll say because I mean this is the highest rated one, and quite a long time. I think people are really vibing with this
Yeah.
one.
Have you played zombies at all yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. We
I
need
haven't
to
checked it out yet.
we need
Yeah,
to we need to
we'll
check
need
it
to
out.
do. Yeah.
Even my son, he's super into Fortnite right now, but I was playing Call of Duty earlier. He's like, man, I really want an Xbox so I can play Call of Duty with you, because he's
Oh,
played a couple
really?
rounds, which is tricky because like the gameplay itself isn't like super violent. I mean, there's blood, but it's like nothing crazy. But
Yeah.
they do occasionally cuss randomly, like the characters do. So
Can you turn that off?
you might be able to.
I bet you could turn off blood and turn off
You know, yeah, that's probably
cussing.
right. Yeah. Um,
If you needed
so,
to.
yeah, if I need to. But I think we might be getting them Xboxes for Christmas.
Oh, both of them. Nice.
Well, Kaylee broke her Switch. She went to grab her cover on her bed, and like it got yeeted off their bed, and it didn't shatter, but like the internal digitizer got completely messed up. And I tried to open it and see it, but it was all shattered once I opened it up. So
Oh no.
so but she's been playing on my Xbox One, and she likes it a lot better. At least playing Fortnite, just because like
runs better.
playing Fortnite on the Switch is not a fun experience. It just runs
Yeah.
like garbage to the point where like it'll die because of how poorly the frames drop. So yeah, I think that might be the plan. So hopefully they got like a good deal on the Series S's for
Oh, I'm sure they will. I'm sure
holidays.
they'll be 250, 225, something
Yeah.
like that.
So yeah, that should be the plan. But yeah, Call of Duty is real fun.
That's a great time, dude.
Yeah, it feels good to like. I think I've been kind of itching for like a good first person shooter, like online shooter.
Yeah.
You know, and Halo just hasn't. I went back and played Halo a couple of weeks ago, and they took out Team Slayer again, which kind of pissed me off. They have ranked Slayer in there, and I'm like, I'm not playing ranked. There's like barely anybody playing. I'm not playing ranked. I think they have it.
Slayer? That's so dumb.
So they have like they had a playlist that has like Slayer and the capture. I'm like, I just want to play what I want to play. Like I don't
want to play Oddball. I don't want to play King of the Hill.
And that was fun. Like, but if I'm just want to play a couple rounds of Slayer, like I can't even do that. So I was like, all right, I think I'm officially done with Infinite. And it sounds like they are too, based off of everything, all the news and stuff in the last couple of weeks. So
the rebrand and all that stuff.
Rebrand, yep. But Nick, tell me about Black Myth, because you were getting dangerously close to the end.
Dangerously close, brother. I mean,
because you're in chapter 6, right?
Yeah, I'm in chapter 6.
Okay, so you've got the good mount now.
I got the really cool mount. This chapter feels just so different from the other ones. It's crazy going from chapter 5 to chapter 6.
It's really cool, and I well, I'm gonna spoil it. I mean, because it's been out for a couple months now, but you get like the flying cloud, like the Nimbus from
the flying Nimbus.
It definitely, like, I get why it's so empty. Like I think I told you when I initially got to this chapter, it's like it feels completely different than the rest of the game. It's very open, but very limited as well as far as like the enemies that are there. Mm-hmm. There's some, but it's not a lot. Do you get the feeling that it was rushed towards the end, or like they didn't have enough time to like kind of pack it in with more stuff?
It seems rushed.
Okay.
Towards the end, because even chapter 5 was relatively short. I mean, chapter 3 and 4 were very long.
Yes. Yeah.
And then chapter 5 had some hard bosses, and especially the last boss, like the red boy, and then the guy that comes after him. Those were like ridiculously hard. But the chapter itself wasn't too long, and that one just kind of seemed a little bit rushed in general. I mean, it wasn't visually it wasn't that exciting. It was in the it was like near a volcano, so there wasn't too much going on. I mean, that being said, I really liked the chapter, and I still, am really enjoying the game, but it does feel a little bit rushed. And then getting into chapter 6, and just going into that open world, and there's not really much to do, feels weird.
Yeah.
feels kind of weird. I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know if they needed to add in all of that stuff, but I'm still liking it. Still liking the boss
Yeah,
fights.
it's definitely a different pace towards the end. Like, because I mean, I think like there are some like hidden bosses you can find. So have you fought the? You said you fought the bull, but you haven't beaten it yet.
Yeah, I think I fought it once. Am I required
Okay.
to fight the
Yeah,
bull?
you have to fight it.
To
I
get one
think
of the
every
pieces?
boss is required in this final area.
Okay, I fought that thing in the water, and then fought the deer. The deer was kind of bullshit with
Yeah,
the
I think the thing
tornadoes.
in the water isn't required. I think that's just like a secret.
Yeah, that was optional, I think, because I didn't get one of the 4
Yeah,
armor
pieces of armor.
pieces.
Yeah,
Okay, so I need to fight that bull again. I got
yeah.
pretty close, but I was like running low on heals when I'd gotten there.
Okay.
And then I guess there's 2 more I need to find, and then I'm close to the end game.
Have you done the grasshopper yet?
No.
Okay, but you've seen it, right?
Well,
See it jumping around. The giant grasshopper.
yeah, I think I've seen it jumping around.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You
But, I
actually
mean,
you might not be able to do it. I'll give you a tip. The one of the like the neat like the golden needle, you know, that type those type of items.
yeah,
When you're doing the grasshopper, equip the fire one that makes you resistant to fire.
I think I have that one.
You should.
Is that like
That's
the
the first.
first one
That's
you
the
get?
first one you get. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Make sure you have that one equipped because you need it whenever you're trying to get on top of the thing.
Do all of those 4 bosses, do they need one of those
No, they don't. They don't. They
vessels?
don't. No, they don't need any sort of vessel. I don't think.
Well, because with the deer, I used the wind one, and that helped. It nullified the
Oh,
tornadoes.
okay. Yeah. I think you. I mean, you could still use them. I don't. It's not necessarily required to do it, but with the
Yeah, not
grasshopper
required,
one,
but
it's
helpful.
required to have it.
Oh, it is? Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Still
I
liking
think
it?
I really do. I really love it. Chapter 4 is probably my favorite so far. Chapter 4, and
That was the spider one, right?
yeah, that was the
Yeah,
spider
that
one.
one was good. That was a good one.
Yeah, that last boss, the Minotaur guy, it was pretty hard. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be because I had watched Andy Cortez from Kind of Funny
Yeah.
stream it, and he was really struggling on it.
Yeah.
And I guess I just had a different build going in, which seemed to help. But yeah, man, there's been some really difficult bosses in this game.
Yeah.
Nothing that's made me want to like throw my controller. But
Wait
there's
till you
been
get to the last one, and definitely in. So so in chapter 3, the snowy area, did you get to that area where you walk into this room and it's got like the 4 or the 5 panels on there? It's kind of like a cathedral looking room.
I think so, yeah.
And there's nothing you could do there yet. I think after you get to the final boss, before you beat it, you can go back and do that area's secret boss, and then you unlock the true ending.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
That boss is insane. It's probably harder than the final boss.
Is it a 2-phaser, 2 health bar?
It's a 2-phaser, but the second phase you can't lose. I don't think you can.
Okay.
It turns into a big old anime fight. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I love this.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think you can lose it. If you can, that sucks because that fight is extremely difficult in the first phase. But but it's pretty doable. It's definitely like I said, it's just a big old anime fight. It's awesome.
You love to see it.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that game, man. I mean, right now, it very could be my game of the year. I'm not quite sure yet. I still got to think about everything else. Still got to finish Silent Hill 2. I love that. I just
trying to think of what else could be your game of the year.
Like that's been one of my favorite games of the year so far. I mean, Balatro is incredible. I did pick up the physical version of Balatro, so I've got that. Comes with like the little cards. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Shadow of the Earth Tree.
I don't know if I'm going to count that for me personally.
What?
Because I feel like we gave.
Okay,
I mean, we could talk about it. I feel like we gave Elden Ring its due back in 2022. And this is obviously more of Elden Ring, and it's still so good. And I kind of want to give everything else its due, but it's still so good. Like, I don't know. I'll put an asterisk beside it because it's still probably my favorite thing this year.
Okay, fine. I know you just.
I mean, we can talk about it later.
But yeah, we'll talk about
it. Because that I don't know. It's too good. It's too good.
I guess it would be a disservice to have two of our game of the years be
Elden Ring. And I don't think we've ever put like an expansion even got I mean, there really hasn't been that good of an expansion.
What expansions have we played though?
Warrants. I don't know. There's probably something we played, some sort of DLC, like the Resident Evil DLC that came out a couple like back in last year. I mean, or 2 years ago, 2022, I think it's when it came out. So I mean,
yeah, but like,
that's
DLC.
Yeah, that's not on the same level. I mean, Erd Tree is more or less a new game. Like it's maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm contradicting myself here.
So if you're saying it's like a new game,
maybe
then it freaking counts.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll circle back.
Yeah. Black Myth Wukong is very good. It's getting the physical release date for PS5. I don't know. They didn't announce it for Xbox, so I don't foresee that coming out until next year, maybe. Because I mean, all the reports say that it was a timed exclusive, anyways.
You know what? Maybe they'll launch it with the DLC.
Yeah,
on Xbox. Just include it all in one package.
Yeah, I mean that would be cool. I really do hate exclusives, like third-party exclusives. Especially like this year. Like we had some really good, like Stellar Blade, Wukong, Silent Hill, man. Like, come on. Like,
was Stellar Blade, was that wasn't published by Sony, was it?
It was published, I think. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Was it not published by them?
I don't know.
I thought it was. But yeah. If you have it, if you've been waiting to get it physical, I mean, and I think it's all on the disc too, which is
that's great.
Yeah, which is, man, yeah. I just felt like Game Science has done a good job with this game.
It was published by Sony.
It was published. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good stuff. I don't know if Nick, if you played any of the Astrobot levels of the speedrun levels.
No, not yet.
I haven't played the second one, but I played the first one, and it's really fun.
What's your record time?
Like 28 something. Like I was not too far off.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah, it was like 28 and some change. I'm not quite sure what the exact timing was, but I probably played it for like an hour, and it was really fun. So yeah, I mean, they could easily just add on, like not even necessarily like speedrun levels, but just add on like a new galaxy or something like that. You know, hopefully they do that. Because that game, yeah, Astrobot, obviously that could be a game of the year contender. Like like that game is really great. So
yeah, I feel like Astrobot, Prince of Persia. You could argue Dragon's Dogma wouldn't be for you, but
no,
as that game's number one hater.
Top five. First half was great. The second half was utter poo poo.
Do you think if you went back and played it at 60 frames, it would change your opinion at all?
I don't think the frame rate bothered me that much. I mean, it had some issues, but I just did not like the Batal region.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was too many enemies in a collective space. True. Like I said, like the first area you went to, like I loved exploring. I loved going to the caves. Like I felt like, you know, traveling back and forth between the town or the city and like wherever you're going to. Like obviously people had gripes with the fast travel system, but like I was really into it because it felt like a new experience every time. But once I hit the Batali region, I was like, yeah, I just want to fast travel. and it's kind of limited.
Yeah, that area was kind of a miss.
Yeah.
It just needed more points to fast travel too, in my opinion. But
yeah,
you did finish it, right?
I did. Yeah, I beat it.
Okay.
Yep, and beat like the late game stuff, like where you have to beat it in one run without dying, otherwise it starts over. That kind of thing. I did that one too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You go back and fight the dragon again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I did like that game, but that second half was just,
And if you didn't like half
killed the
of
vibe. Killed the vibe for me.
It's fair.
But I like the combat. Like I liked all the different classes and stuff. But
yeah, the different vocations were great.
Yeah. But yeah, Nick, Silent Hill 2. Let's talk about it. This game, I've been texting you all week about it. I mean, you started before and you played a little bit last week. And I happen to have a bunch of points on my Amazon, so like I got it, and had it delivered, and then I'm blown away by this game. I just did not expect it to be this good, this atmospheric. I think you had tweeted it out, but you had said once you get to like a certain point where you get like that gun, it feels like it's
like a normal horror games,
like a normal survival horror game. Like it feels like it starts to get a little bit easier. I haven't gotten I've gotten some shotgun ammo, and I guess for like the sake of where I'm at in the story, I'm at the hospital for reference. So still pretty early on. I think I'm 5 or 6 hours in. I'm pretty sure the shotgun is the next weapon that I'm going to get. But even after you get the pistol, like it still feels like you're barely scraping.
Feels very
like there was a good like 30 minutes where I was near death the entire time, and it was
that in the apartments?
It was, yeah.
Dude, I had the same thing, like, and I was getting a little frustrated because I kept like finding health or like finding like medicine, not the injectables, but just the drink. And I would drink that and it would heal me a little bit. And then I'd run into another mannequin.
Yeah,
and another mannequin could be just like standing at the wall, just like waiting for me.
They're so creepy. Like, and they're pretty difficult. Like I was having a pretty easy time with just the regular like enemies that are kind of wrapped up in like the body bag kind of looking thing. Those weren't too difficult, but once you get to like the weird mannequin with like the double legs, like it's super creepy.
Yeah, and now I'm at, I won't spoil it, but I'm in like the next like main area after the hospital. Okay. I'm like 9 or 10 hours in, and I have discovered a new enemy type that is very creepy. Okay. So it's really cool. Like I'm the game keeps getting more tense, and it feels like the opposite of Resident Evil, where that game, like as you go along, gets less and less tense.
Because I'm assuming, I mean, I've like you and I have never played a Silent Hill game before. Yeah. The only kind of Silent Hill anything I've ever seen was like the first movie. So I'm assuming at some point, I guess since I'm in the hospital, I'm going to come across like the faceless nurse enemies. I'm assuming.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Yeah, those are pretty creepy. I haven't fought them yet.
Okay. So I'm
very no. I've gotten in there. I did like the first puzzle in like the foyer, foyer, whatever you want to say it, and then I met up with the little girl and she ran away. So like now I'm kind of figuring that out. Like I think I'm going to the basement first. That's my next stop.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, the sense of dread in this game is insane. Like you constantly like never feel safe until the point where, and I texted you like right after you get out of the apartments and like the dark world or whatever it's called, and then you open up the door and you see fog and you're just like, yes, thank God, such a good feeling. And it was like right after fighting Pyramid Head, which I was a little underwhelmed by that boss that first. I mean, I know you probably fight him again, but it was a little underwhelming just because like you literally just run around the kind of the area and shoot him until like the time. And so that was a little underwhelming. And again, I've never played 2, so I don't know if at some point he is like a persistent threat, like he is in, or like
Mr. X,
or nemesis or something like that. So I don't know if that's going to happen later on, but that's what I full on expected. And then after you meet him and you go into like the dark world, you don't ever see him again until like the very end. So like that was kind of cool. Like I thought it was going to be that, and it wasn't. So like the entire time I was like, okay, he's going to come out of nowhere, and he never did. And I was like, brilliant.
It was kind of brilliant because when you're in the dark world, the layout of that area makes it seem like you're trying to avoid somebody. Like there's like a lot of places you can slip through to get to different ways to get into a room.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, like I'm gonna get a key item and then he's gonna chase me. And like that maybe it's just like playing with your mind, like that sense of dread, that fear is kind of omnipresent during that moment. Did you see him, like was the first time you saw him in the apartments, like in the first, I guess, in the regular world in the apartments? Did you see him when you went up to like it was like a walled, what is it? Like a metal frame, and you see him on the other side of the wall?
No, I don't. I just saw him in like the cutscene. That's the first time I saw him. So he's there.
Okay, there was a point in the apartments where you're walking through a corridor and you get to the end of the hallway, and there's like a slat, like metal slats blocking you in the other side of the room, and you stop, and he's just standing there watching you.
Oh, yeah, maybe I must have missed that.
Yeah.
Dang, that's cool.
It was pretty freaky. I was like, wait,
yeah,
I did like a double take.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm so impressed with like just the gameplay's fun. Like so far the combat's been pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just all the acting is really cool, and I don't know if they talk about it in the game, but I noticed it in the cutscene wherever you're in like the strip club and you're talking to Maria, which is so confusing because like your wife's name is Mary, and so it's like, okay, y'all could have picked a different name, but then also like she apparently looks just like Mary, so like I don't know if it's just like
but we haven't seen Mary yet, so it's like
so I don't know, but there's a moment in there where she's talking to him or whatever, and she pours a shot for both of them, and she takes it, and then he doesn't, and you're just like, okay, he's just trying to find his wife or whatever, and then like she leaves, and then he like looks down and stares at it, so you could tell he's like an alcoholic because of what happened to his wife. So like that was just a little thing, and I don't know if they had talked about it previously or if it was like in a note or something like that, but it was just something like very quick that you can miss, and I just happened to notice it. I was like, oh, that's really good storytelling. Like just very
that was a really like well choreographed moment, and I don't think they had talked about that beforehand. And I kind of caught the same thing where he lingers on it.
Yeah, lingers on for a little bit too longer than you think you would, and then you get up, whatever. So yeah, just really, man. Again, like Bloober Team, like say what you want with their other games. Like I never played Layers of Fear, so I don't really know how good these games are. I enjoyed the medium, but obviously I knew it definitely had its flaws. And hopefully this is a start of something incredible. Like they can really get. And obviously last week we got the their new game that they announced, which looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does look pretty cool.
I can't remember the name of
horror
it.
game.
So yeah, hopefully they're like I'm all for it. Like survival horror games are like some of our favorite genres.
Oh yeah.
So if we can get some better ones or some more good ones, I should say, I'm all here for it.
So let me ask you this: do you know, like, have you been spoiled on how this game ends?
Mm-mm.
I haven't either.
Which is crazy because like this is like one of the most. I don't know how well this game sold. Obviously, it's a cult classic, I would say, and it's probably like the most well regarded Silent Hill game. Because there's not a lot. I don't think the other ones are particularly great. So yeah, I don't know exactly what happens. You know, if it's anything like the movie, I mean, you know, maybe, but
I haven't seen the movie. And I have a theory, and I'm not basing it off of like any late game knowledge that I've learned, but I think he killed his wife.
You think so?
I think he did. And I think he's like having I think he's having like memory loss or something.
Do you think he like intentionally killed her or like got her killed or something?
I don't know.
Maybe they were drinking and driving or something, and maybe car crash.
Yeah, maybe.
It's gonna sound silly for people that know the story, but we're trying to figure out the story for a 20-plus-year-old game. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I could see it because there also is that little kind of conversation that when you first meet Maria, she asked you if you love your wife, and it took him a little bit to say that he did, which you're
Yeah.
like, okay, what's going on with that? So yeah,
Why
it's
are you
very,
hesitating?
very, very good like social cues that they're doing, telling a story without necessarily saying anything, which is
Mhm.
I always appreciate. So yeah, again, just this game has just blown me away. I just did not expect it to be anywhere this good, anywhere this polished. Um, even though like the game is very gray and brownish, like it still looks very good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's yeah, it's great.
I mean, this is like in my upper echelon of survival horror games with, Resident Evil 4, Dead Space,
Yeah,
Alan Wake 2. I mean, they're just they're nowadays there are just so many good survival horror games, and I feel like we went a period during the 2010s where there just weren't that many great ones, and now we're just having
yeah,
this big resurgence of remakes
yeah.
and new games. And
But really good remakes, like not just
Mhm.
remasters, like proper remakes. I mean, like, damn, if EA doesn't allow Dead Space 2 to happen, like I'll be quite upset because that Dead Space remake was just, I mean, better. It was better than the original, which is always
Yeah.
hard to do when you're trying to remake a game. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely
So,
having a resurgence of these types of games. I'm here
oh
for it,
yeah,
and just like the interconnectivity of like the levels that I've seen so far is it's incredible. That feeling of you're about to die and then you just stumble into a staircase and then you're back at the save point and you're like, yes.
right. Thank God.
So yeah, good stuff.
So that leads me into my question.
Okay.
So if someone were just getting into survival horror games and they wanted a good Halloween game to play, what franchise or game would you recommend to them, and why?
I don't know. I mean, if we're talking like zombies, obviously I think Resident Evil is probably up there, but which one? Like if it's gonna be your first one and like all the stories, like it's yeah, there's a timeline of everything, but like it's not really connected.
Mhm.
It's like which
So
one
you
would
could really
you?
pick any one and go in.
Yeah,
I mean, do you go with the Resident Evil 4, or do you err on the 7 and 8 side? I mean, I feel
see
like
that
if you
that's a
yeah,
good
you would have
question.
to play 7 if you
Yeah,
were leaning towards
I
8,
would
but
say if you are well versed in like video games, and this isn't like your first video game to play, I would say just jump in with 2, at like the remake, because you're gonna get like that good survival horror experience. Have like having the interconnectivity of all the police station, like that one's such a good game. I don't know. That's yeah. I would say either maybe 2 or 7.
2 or 7. I mean,
You because
yeah, 7's a good one.
3, I
That's
mean
a
3, 4, 5, like they're way more. I mean, especially the third like the Resident Evil 3 remake. They're way more actiony, and I feel like they kind of lose that horror vibe. I guess. I mean, they still can be scary in some spots, but if you're looking for
Mhm.
like a horror game, I would say 2 or 7.
2 or 7.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, 2 is probably the best remake, or at least tied with 4 for the best remake, and then 7, I mean, that's just a completely different type of
yeah,
game. And that one like really leans into the horror more so than the other ones do.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
Seven's pretty good. Like
7's pretty incredible.
seven's excellent.
And like I love 8, but 8's a lot different
It's
than
like
Resident Evil
the
7.
Resident Evil 4. It's like the Resident Evil 4 of like that of those two games. Like it's
Right.
way more actiony,
And
a
it's
lot
fun.
less
It's a lot of
scary.
fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of fun. But yeah, just way more actiony than than 7 was. Like 7, man, like 7's one of those games where like you could turn it into a movie if you wanted to. Not that they should, because Resident Evil is not a good track record for movies, but
don't make any more movies.
but 7 could be a really cool, like, you know, couple gets lost in the, or friend group gets lost in the woods and they come across the shack or the house, you know, in the bayou. Like that could be cool. But
yeah, find those.
yeah,
tapes. Yeah,
I would say 2 is 7. You get the best of both worlds, one being third person and the other one being first. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? I mean, what would you?
I mean, I might lean towards something like Alien Isolation.
Oh yeah, that's
like I feel like that. I mean, that's a franchise that people know. They know what the threat is going in between the androids and the alien. Xenomorph. Sorry, don't want to get yelled at. My one reservation with that game is that it's so long.
It's like, long, yeah.
It's like an 18 to 20 hour game, and you spend a lot of your time just hiding in lockers and waiting. So it's definitely more on the survival, or no, just more on like the plain horror side than the survival side.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, with if you really want to have like more combat, I mean, maybe something like Dead Space Remake would be a good game.
I was gonna say Dead Space. Like if we're not gonna do the Resident Evil like the kind of the typical, I think Dead Space is a great entry point into like survival horror, because it's not overly difficult, but it's definitely got its creepy moments for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely super tense. But you're right, yeah, and you can obviously put the game on easy. It's not super difficult on normal mode. Yeah. And there's a lot of weapons, like there's a lot of, damage scaling you can do. There's a bunch of different builds you can have. So I feel like that's a good option too. I don't know what else. Yeah. What else you could pick here? Carry On would be a good one. I mean, that's kind of a reverse horror game, but if you're wanting
reverse horror game where you are the monster, that one's a great game.
Yeah. If you're wanting to get into the horror genre, that would be a good one to start with.
Yeah.
Shoot, yeah, I don't know what else.
Like the first Luigi's Mansion, I think it's a pretty creepy game. The first one, at least.
Luigi's Mansion, Little Nightmares. That's a good one.
Little Nightmares is a good one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
Yeah, less survival horror, but still very good.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's end the show with just talking briefly about the Switch 2, the Switch successor. I personally think that there have been so many videos made on speculation of the Switch 2 that Nintendo's canceled it. They're going to cancel the game that for that online playtest because it got leaked out. Yeah. They're just going to cancel everything. Nintendo Prime's put out too many videos. They said
they put a stop.
You put out 100 videos and we're going to cancel it.
Whoa. They did tweet 39 minutes ago. They said, Shadow Man and Turok 2, Seeds of Evil are playable as part of the Nintendo 64 expansion packs. So I expected a late night Nintendo Switch tweet.
You had hopes?
Successor tweet. I did. I did have hopes for today. And I feel like if it doesn't happen tomorrow on Tuesday, October 29th, then we're not going to see it until 2025. Yeah. Like with the election coming up and then their investor meeting and Black Friday.
When is the investor meeting?
It's next week. So it's I think it's like,
is it Monday?
It's either Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. I think I mean, technically, today and tomorrow we could absolutely see something like an announcement, but if we don't hear anything by Wednesday, that's it. No, and at this point, I think I'm team 2025.
It's
I
unfortunate.
I just didn't think there would be a world where when we entered 2024, we would not hear or see it at least. Like they spoke about it briefly, you know, when they said we will not be talking about the Switch 2 or the Switch successor.
Right.
They brought that up a couple times this year, but yeah, I just did not think that we would get through all of 2024 and not see a thing about it.
You and me
That's insane.
both. I mean, we're going through year 8, and I mean, good for Nintendo because the Switch is still doing exceptionally well, and
Yeah.
new games are still selling well. I think Jamboree, Mario Party Jamboree, is going to be like a 5 to 10 million seller.
Oh, for
in the
sure.
first
Yeah, it's gonna be huge,
year.
huge, like holiday seller too.
hmm So they're still pumping out like pretty killer games from a sales perspective. I'm just wondering if they want to squeeze out one more holiday season out of this thing and ride the Mario Kart 8 bundle one more time.
Yeah, because I mean, this is the first time ever that I think we don't know anything outside of Donkey Kong next year in January. We don't know anything. I mean, obviously we know about Metroid Prime 4, but we don't have a release date. Um, so we just know nothing, and we haven't got the proper September Direct, which we talked about before. But like that hasn't happened in the Switch era. There's always been a September Direct of some kind. Granted, we got the partner showcase and the mini or the whatever. But that's not like a standard direct. So yeah, it's been a weird year, man. It's just been such a weird year.
Yeah, it's really interesting because Nintendo hasn't utilized any of their like main studios this year. It's all been kind of like outsourced development almost. I mean, they had Grezzo on Echoes of Wisdom, and then for Mario and Luigi Brothership, they have the developers that did Octopath Traveler making that game.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, they know their stuff. So, that's gonna be a game. I may play that game eventually. I'm not picking it up until I beat my other stuff that I got to beat. I think I think I'm on the end of the Switch. I think I'm kind of not over the form factor itself, but I think I'm just kind of I need something new at this point.
I mean, it's been 8 years. It's been a long time. We've both played the Switch to death. I mean, we've played every game under the sun on this thing. I don't know. We've got our worth out of it.
Yeah.
And
even like the OLED was a nice refresh. Like I really have enjoyed the OLED a lot. Like that screen is so beautiful looking. And Metroid Dread was like the perfect game to launch with that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's been 2 years since that came out, and I'm just ready. I'm ready for something brand new. I'm ready for
been 3 years.
And was it? It was 2021, wasn't it? And I'm not ready for like a new gimmick. I just don't know exactly, other than like the attach kind of rumors stuff that they have going on.
Right.
I don't need a new gimmick. I just want games to run better. Like the Plucky Squire, like I still have to play through that, and it's just kind of rough. I know it's had an update recently, so I haven't played it since the update. But want to play through that, but just
kind of ran like shit.
Yeah, it kind of runs
kind of not fun to play.
Yeah, so
I mean that's my problem with any 3D game on the Switch right now is they all kind of run like
it still blows my mind when stuff like that doesn't run good. But like Tears of the Kingdom obviously had its problems, but like still ran pretty damn good for what that game was.
Right. Yeah.
And something like the Plucky Squire, you're telling me they can't run? It's 60. Come on, I don't know.
Like, yeah, I mean that like in what was Another Crab's Treasure? Like I was this close to picking it up on Switch.
Yeah.
And I watched a couple of videos on it and saw that it was super choppy. So I'm glad I played through it on Xbox, but
yeah, and it was on Game Pass too. So yeah, because I was on the same boat. I was like, man, I do want to kind of get on the Switch, but yeah, once I saw the reviews, I was like, ooh, no, I'm gonna wait. I'm just gonna play it on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think I started on Xbox and I was like, I was gonna get it on the Switch, and then after I heard about the Switch, I was like, yeah, I'll just stick with this.
Yeah, no, it wasn't perfect.
That's also I forgot about it. That's also a pretty high up on my list.
Yeah, you love that one too.
I love that game. Yeah. Bum there hasn't been any DLC yet for that, but who knows? Yeah, I don't know. I think Team 2025 is probably the best route at this point. So who
I hate to
knows?
say it though.
It's still insane. It's still
I hate to
crazy.
say it. It's hard not to fall into the hype, into all the rumors and speculation and their stock price, their share price went up 2%. Oh, that means an announcement is coming, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
It just
I don't
doesn't
know.
make sense at this point. So late in the year, like why would we wait until Black Friday season to announce a new console for next year and then kind of maybe, you know, mess up the sales, the last holiday sales. So it just makes sense for them to just announce it in January, assuming it's going to get announced in January. Who knows? I mean, it may not be a holiday. It might be a holiday 2025 release. We don't know. We assume it's March because we're supposed to hear about it
Right.
before the fiscal year ends,
We
but that
want it to be
doesn't
March.
guarantee that it's going to come out, before fiscal years end. So,
I mean, you
man,
could argue that the people who are picking up a Switch for the first time in year 8 wouldn't pick up the Switch 2 on or anywhere close to launch.
yeah,
So maybe you're not cannibalizing those sales, but yeah, it does feel weird. And
yeah, you're probably right. Yeah,
I know they announced the original Switch in October of 2016, but I mean the Wii U was dead. It wasn't going to
yeah,
sell
it was dead.
anything
It
in the
was done.
holidays. I mean, different time. Nintendo is so well positioned now that I wouldn't be surprised if they want to ride out this
They
last
have.
holiday.
They've written it out. I was ready for it to come out last year. I think a lot of people were.
Dude, yeah. I mean, what was it? People were saying like the Thousand Year Door was running on Switch 2. Some people said Tears of the Kingdom was running on the Switch 2. I mean, this has been the case for the past
It's
2 or
been
3
annoying.
years.
It's been just annoying. I'm sorry. I'm sick of seeing it. Like I don't watch any videos anymore about the Switch 2 because it's all just nonsense. It's just hearsay off of Reddit and family boards and shit like that. Like I'm just ready to see it. I'm tired of people complaining about the Switch's power, which I mean, it's a weak system at this, at this point. I'm tired of games being compromised on the Switch because they just don't run very well, and that's just fact at this point. Like
Yeah.
Nintendo is the only one that can actually get stuff to run good on their system, and Tears of the Kingdom had
Excuse me.
plenty
Sorry.
of frame rate issues. Bless you. Obviously, still an incredible game, but could have been better.
Even Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, even that
frame
like
rate issues.
has got some frame rate issues. Which that game I think they should have just locked it at 30 instead of like letting it go to 60 and then drop it, because then you can see the noticeable difference. But I think they just locked it at 30. I think it would have been fine. But it is what it is.
I'm kind of at the point now where like all these games that are releasing in the back half of this year, like Echoes of Wisdom, Mario and Luigi, I kind of wish they would have just been pushed to the Switch 2 and had better frame rate, better graphical capabilities, and especially for Metroid Prime 4, I hope that has a dual launch with the Switch 2 because I really want to play that game where it's fully envisioned and runs very well. I don't want to have a.
Oh, you talking about having like a Switch 2 version you can get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it does. I just don't want to play, a sub 30 FPS Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, I want Metroid Prime 4 to be like, I want it to like blow me away. Like I want it to be graphically incredible, runs incredibly well. Yeah, that game's got to be like flawless. Like I think in order for it to
after not coming out over the entire Switch generation when it was announced in 2017.
Insane.
Yeah, it needs to be pretty damn good.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, obviously this year's been great for games. Lots of good stuff to play. I think people get so wrapped up in like reactionary stuff that where they want to just see what's new constantly what's new, constantly be reacting to new products, new games, and then when the actual games come out, we're already moved on to the new reactionary stuff. So we don't sit, not you and I, but like a lot of content creators and YouTubers and stuff like that, people on Twitter, they don't sit back and just enjoy the games that are coming out. And if you're only playing a couple of games a year, then you're like, okay, Switch 2. I gotta have the Switch 2. It's like, yeah, that'd be awesome to have the Switch 2, but like there's so much other good stuff to play. So just sit back, just wait, relax. It's coming. We know it's coming. It's been confirmed. We just don't know what it looks like and what it's called, but it'll get there.
Yeah.
It'll get here eventually.
It will. I think you're right. People need to just kind of like sit down and look at get through that backlog, man.
Yeah.
Look at your arsenal of games that you have. I mean, we just talked about what, 5 different games that we've been playing. Like, there's a ton of stuff.
And also like, and I mean, I'm not gonna like judge anybody, but like, you don't have to rush things. You don't have to be the first one, and that's a big part of content creation and Twitch. Like, you have to be the first person to get the game, and you got to be the first person to beat the game because you have to get all these tips and tricks videos. Like, I was complaining on, like, I made like a TikTok the other day when Black Ops came out. It's like the day it came out, when I woke up that morning, I was already like, had people, content creators yelling at me like, these are the best 5 guns to use in Call of Duty Black Ops to prestige and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you should switch your settings to this to gain the most advantage on the, I'm like, bro, the game came out today. It came out today. Like, let me play the game. Let me feel out the guns that I want to like and not like. It's like, I get the creation aspect of it. And I appreciate the hustle and the grind. And that's what you do for a living. Like, that is your full-time job. I get it. But on the other side, on my side, it's annoying because I don't need to be.
You don't need to rush the prestige and try to optimize everything. It's about the journey. It's about trying out those different weapons and even playing with the weapons you don't like because you can unlock some cool stuff and maybe like it eventually. Like, I think back to Modern Warfare 2, and I think I probably had like 20 hours with each gun at least.
Yeah.
20 hours of playtime with each gun, just because it was fun to try something new. Like, it was fun to kind of dick around and just try a different play style, not try to optimize everything and only use one gun, only use one attachment, just try to prestige 10 as fast as possible.
Yeah, and that's what I've seen too. I've seen so many different streamers be like, I'm not stopping my stream until I unlock like the most hardest skin to unlock in the game for this specific. I'm like,
Why?
This is why y'all get so upset and say that there's no games out, because you've rushed through everything.
You burn through the content.
Even your multiplayer game, you're rushing through it. It's like I'm tired of like all the streamers and stuff. Just there's no games. Yeah, because you played this game to death and you got everything to unlock within the first like 4 days it's out. Like, it's like, again, I get it. It's your job and I appreciate that. But damn, like
for
reel it back, bro. Reel it back.
for a normal person that doesn't do like content creation as their job, there are too many games.
Yeah, it's hard to keep
quality games.
Like, especially if you're not getting the games for free and getting early access or a reviewer or something like that. Like, most people are paying out of pocket. So yeah, it's very hard to keep up. And I think that's also why people like you and I who pay for our games outside of Game Pass, it's free, quote unquote, but we like to finish our games. Like, we're not going to jump in. We're not going to pay for something. We're going to do our research, make sure that the game's decent, play through it, and then move on to the next game.
Yeah. Like, even with Dragon Age the Veilguard, like, the game is reviewing very well. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up because I don't have time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pick it up for at least a month or so. I mean, I've still got to finish Silent Hill 2, Zelda. So like, I've got stuff to play. Like, I'm good. But yeah. Again, I feel like I was throwing a lot of shade, but I'm not trying to. But it's like that's what gets me so annoyed by people that say there's no games out. And it's like, yeah, there's no games out if you only play online multiplayer games and don't expand your horizon. Which is what's been great about like Elden Ring. I feel like Elden Ring has really opened up a lot of people's mindset on, not only like the Soulsborne genre, but just maybe action games in general, because they see how fun it is. And then, so many people like even like Kai Cenat, he's not really usually a game streamer, but he's played Bloodborne, Elden Ring, the DLC.
Sekiro.
Did he finish Sekiro?
I don't know if he finished it.
I don't think he started it yet, has he?
I thought he did. I thought he had like his whole like stream set up for it. Maybe it was just a trailer. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if he did or not. I watched a little bit of his Bloodborne. I didn't love that one because he was rushing it. He really was trying to just get through it, and you could tell by the end he was like not having a good time.
I think he had some sort of obligation he had to get to.
Okay,
he was trying to fit it in, and that's why he rushed it.
Okay,
but yeah, if you knew that was coming up, maybe don't start a 100-hour stream or 50-hour stream.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's like my biggest irk, right? Like I've seen with people is just complaining there's nothing to play, and there's no way you played every single game out there. There's so many games that are incredible that you probably missed.
Yeah, like so many good indies, Balatro, Animal Well. I mean, there's a lot of the horror indies coming out right now. I know a few of the Spotlight seems pretty good.
I do want to try that. That looks pretty good. Like the PS1 style. It's like the first game from Blumhouse Games, like their new gaming initiative.
Yeah, they're like publishing studio.
Yeah,
that one looks pretty cool.
That one looks cool. Dredge just had DLC. That game is great. That DLC was good. So yeah, tons of stuff. All right, Nick, any last thoughts before we wrap it up?
Well, I hope everyone has a great Halloween.
Yeah. Have a good Halloween.
Yeah, let us know what you dress up as. Let us know what games you're playing.
Yeah.
Don't spoil the ending of Silent Hill 2 for either of us.
Yeah, even though it's a 20-year-old game, just please don't do it. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Maybe we'll be graced by the Switch 2 presents. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens, but probably not. That's
probably not.
It's all right.
That's all right because there's plenty to play.
Yeah, plenty to play. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Probably talking more Silent Hill 2. Maybe some more Call of Duty. Just been kind of grinding through that. It's been a good time.
Gotta play some zombies.
Yeah, definitely gotta play some zombies.
Yeah.
Is Dragon Age the only thing that's coming out this week?
Yeah, I think it's the biggest thing coming out. I don't know what else.
Fantasy Critic check-in, Nick. We are neck and neck. I am at 171. You are at 167. So you caught
what was
up.
it that did it for me? Was it Black Ops 6? I think that one's at like an 85.
Yeah, Black Ops 6 obviously helped. Mario Jamboree you had helped.
Do I have Dragon Age?
Silent Hill 2 Remake was an 87, so you got 17 points from that. You do have Dragon Age coming up. So you got Dragon Age this week, which is going to put you above me. And then I've got Horizon coming out same day. So maybe not. Maybe I think Horizon will
Horizon will review well.
And then you got Brothership coming up. And then I've got Dragon Quest 3, which I'm really hoping is going to put me up in the 90s for that one. We'll see. Lego Horizon Adventures.
I feel like that'll review pretty well.
Yeah. So we've pretty much got neck and neck as far as like Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to be huge.
That's my ace in the sleeve.
That's your ace in the sleeve. Stalker 2, I think also will review well. Indiana Jones, I think it's going to be in the 80s.
I think it'd be either high 70s, low 80s.
Assassin's Creed Shadows, which that's not gonna count for me anymore. And then you've got Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War, which hasn't been announced, so we'll see. we'll see.
So it's kind of a toss-up at this point.
Yeah, it can go either way. I think hopefully Dragon Quest 3 works for me because I know Microsoft Flight Simulator is at least going to be in the 90s for you. So
that's right.
That might be your ace up the sleeve on that one. But it's been close. It's been very close.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Flight Sim will review lower just because there was a version in 2020.
That was 4 years ago.
That was the first one in a long time.
This one This one sounds like it's adding a lot of stuff though to it.
Yeah.
Which I do want to check it out because Kellen, my son's been super into like weather, like tornadoes and hurricanes and stuff like that.
I think there's weather events in this.
Yeah, he'll get like every day he'll get on my phone and like pull up the weather app and like look at the precipitation and also look at like the wind as well. So he loves weather stuff.
The barometric pressure.
Yep. So he loves like, he'll just see the swirls on it. He's like, there's a tornado here. I'm like, sure.
Not necessarily. Mom was telling us about it on Saturday.
So she's like, man, he's like super into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got the weather events and stuff. So like that. So I'll probably play that with him. He'll probably love that.
Man, you should get Just Cause 4.
Well, I was thinking about that, but it's rated M, and I don't know. I don't know how.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Yeah, there's not really like many weather games.
That's what I was looking into. It was weather stuff, and they didn't have anything. And I can't just get something garbage for him. Like I want to make sure that it's like a quality game. Can't do that to him.
I can't. Nah, can't do him dirty like that.
Because he was into fishing for a little bit, and I was looking up like bass fishing and stuff like that, and they all reviewed like in the 60s. It's like I can't do this.
Yeah,
not
you know better.
Not to my blood.
Not to my own kid.
Yeah, my own kid. I can't do it. But all right, we're rambling here. But guys, we'll see you next Hopefully everyone has a good, safe Halloween, and it's the laughs of spooky season, and then we're into the holidays pretty much. That's
right. And then Mariah Carey starts defrosting, and we're here.
Yep, she's almost here. All right, bye bye.
Bye bye.